Let's talk about AI. Have we been thinking about it all wrong? I mean, what if the biggest threat isn't some super smart robot, but a really basic misunderstanding of what AI actually is? Today, we're going to dig into a powerful idea that AI isn't a creature we're building, but a new kind of environment we're all stepping into.
This quote really just gets right to the point, doesn't it? The whole idea is to stop thinking of AI as a who and start seeing it as a what. It's not a new species, it's a new kind of tool. But let's be honest, that's way easier said than done, because our brains, well, they seem absolutely hardwired to see a who inside the machine.
So why do we do that? Where does this instinct to see AI as a person, as a creature, even come from? Well, it turns out it's not some weird bug in our thinking. It's actually a feature, a really deep-seated human bias that creates this kind of AI blind spot.
And it has a name, the organism-centric perspective. We are fundamentally programmed to look for beings everywhere we look, to see intention and personality. It's the reason you see a face in the clouds or maybe yell at your laptop when it freezes. And while that's a perfectly normal human thing, it can seriously mislead us when we start applying that same thinking to AI.
And this temptation, it gets totally supercharged by our own designs. I mean, think about it. When we build a robot that can look you in the eye and hold a conversation, our organism-centric brain just can't help it. It feels like we're talking to another life form. But what if that's completely, totally missing the point?
All right, so what if we just throw that whole framework out the window? Instead of seeing AI as the next life form, what if we started seeing it as the next environment? This little shift, well, it changes everything, and it actually fits into a long pattern throughout history.
This is the big question. This is what unlocks this whole idea. The moment we stop thinking of AI as a who and start thinking of it as a where, it stops being a competitor and starts becoming a new landscape, a new territory. But if it's a landscape, what's actually evolving in it?
This timeline really puts it all into perspective. Each one of these innovations, spoken language, the printing press, the internet, they weren't just new gadgets. They were revolutionary new environments where ideas could suddenly spread, compete, and evolve in ways nobody could have predicted. When you look at it like this, AI isn't some crazy break from the past. It's the next logical and, incredibly powerful step in that same sequence.
Okay, so if AI is the environment, what are the life forms evolving inside it? It's not the robots. It's something way more abstract, and honestly, something that's way more familiar than you probably think.
The key here is a really simple but powerful analogy. We all learned about gene pools in biology, right? The collection of all the genes in a species that drives biological evolution. Well, think of idea pools as the same thing, but for culture. Every idea, every story, every meme, it's all part of this massive collective life form that is constantly changing and adapting. So, to put it as plainly as possible, AI is the new ocean. And all the ideas, the narratives, the memes swirling around inside it, those are the real things that are evolving. They are all competing for our attention, for our belief, inside this brand new supercharged environment. And just like any powerful new environment, this one comes with some serious potential dangers.
And to get a handle on this potential danger, we don't need to look at some sci-fi movie. We can actually just look at the natural world, specifically at highly social insects, like ants and bees.
I know, it sounds like a really weird connection, right? Ants and AI? But stick with me, because their evolutionary story offers a really profound and, frankly, a little bit of a scary cautionary tale for our own future with these hyper-connected AI-driven idea pools.
So here's what can happen. In some insect societies, the collective code, their instinctual hive mind behavior, it becomes so dominant that the role and the creativity of the individual ant or bee becomes almost meaningless. The whole system gets incredibly efficient, sure, but it also becomes super rigid and way less able to adapt to new and complex challenges.
And that right there, that's the real risk for us. The danger isn't some Terminator-style robot takeover. No, it's a much more subtle threat. That the algorithmic code pool of AI becomes so powerful, so optimized, that it just overwhelms our individual contributions, stifling human creativity and making us, as a whole, less able to adapt.
But here's the good news. This future is not inevitable. It's not set in stone. By understanding what the risk is, we can start to figure out the solution. And the key is to stop being passive passengers and start actively shaping this new environment for the better.
So how do we actually do that?
Well, we could try top-down regulation, right? And that might be useful, but it's often just a temporary fix. The argument here is for a much more fundamental, much more permanent solution, and it's one that doesn't lie with governments, but with every single one of us. It all starts with individual awareness.
This is where you come in. Every single time you choose what to watch, what to read, what to share, or even what to create, you are casting a vote. You are literally applying selection pressure on this giant idea pool. You are not a passive observer in this new world. You are an active participant, and you are shaping what ideas thrive and what ideas fade away. Your awareness is the whole game.
So we're going to leave you with this thought. AI isn't the creature to be feared or to befriend. It's the new garden, and every single one of us, we're the gardeners. So the question isn't, what will AI do to us anymore? The real question is, what ideas will we, together, choose to cultivate within it?